This is Michael Farris. He's the chairman of HSLDA, the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, who is funding the legal defense against the Justice Department. Michael, how are you, sir?
Fine, Glenn, and good to be with you.
Have I misstated this case at all?
No, you stated it very well, and I'm going to do the oral argument for the family before the Sixth Circuit, and you just give me some good ideas on how to begin the oral argument. It was a great intro.
So, Michael, help me out on, is this family, are they kooks? Are they teaching? I mean, is it Westboro Baptist Church kind of stuff?
No, they're very much like your friend David Barton. I mean, they're right down the center, evangelical Christians. There are millions and millions of Americans just like them.
Okay, so you might not want to use that in your defense because, remember, he has been called a radical. He's on a radical, dangerous watch list. That list is an honor to be on, frankly. Yeah, no, I know. I'm a little disappointed my name's not on that list yet. So, Michael, tell me how out of the norm, especially from an administration that just let how many thousands of illegals just release them, how out of the norm is this for our Justice Department to come and stand against this family?
It's baffling, frankly, and no one can figure out why they're so motivated to take this family on, because especially the initial immigration judge ruled in their favor. That's the toughest hurdle in any immigration case, is to win that initial battle. That's kind of the factual battle. And then after that, it's what does the law mean? And they won the factual battle. It's very clear. They're a good, upright family, and they were, in fact, homeschooling for religious reasons. And the judge said they are being denied religious freedom by the German ban of homeschooling. Interestingly enough, of course, the German law in question was enacted during the Third Reich of Adolf Hitler, and the German government hasn't adjusted it.
And Michael, they're in real peril of their children being taken from them if they were to be sent back to Germany, isn't that right?
That's correct. The German government has come after all the homeschooling families that they've discovered in the country. There are probably less than 500 people that are brave enough to even attempt this in Germany.
Yeah, it's obviously illegal, and I just saw the number. Was it 400 is what they estimate? 400 people homeschool.
Yeah, something in that camp. And
God bless them.
They fine you, they jail you, but ultimately at the end of the day, they remove your children from your custody. That's the progression. And this family had been fined substantially. Mm-hmm. The police had shown up at their house and taken their children to the public schools. They were well down the road, and the threats were coming. We will remove custody of your family if you don't relent.
So Germany's stance here is that this is one of the good things Hitler did, and we're standing by that.
Well, they ignore the fact that it's of that derivation, but functionally that's correct.
Okay, so Michael, I'm sure that you're being kind when you say people are baffled by why this administration is doing this. As we get into Common Core and we see just the data collection on our children that they are planning. There is no way that homeschooling is going to be allowed. There's no way that this country is going to allow you to deviate and actually raise your children the way you want to raise your children. I mean, it makes sense to me. Isn't the Justice Department, by arguing that the German law banning homeschooling does not violate the family's human rights, doesn't that fundamentally transform the United States of America? If they win that battle here, will they not then have a card and a way to strengthen that argument in later battles against the American people?
Absolutely correct. Human rights is really equivalent to constitutional rights in this particular context. We will not survive this as a nation if the government wins. And it's even more insidious than might be apparent, because their contention is not only are parental rights not valid, not only is religious freedom not valid on an individual basis, but they really take the position that no individual liberty is a subject of human rights protection. The only thing that qualifies you for asylum, our government is arguing, is if your group is discriminated against. They don't care about individual liberty at all. They write it off in the way they argue this particular case. And they say this family has no liberty because they don't belong to a church that forces them to homeschool. Other Christians don't homeschool in Germany. Other Christians don't homeschool in the United States. And so unless it's some kind of a group action, this government doesn't get it. But our law and human rights law is based on two principles, individual liberty and equal protection. Well, they've just thrown individual liberty out of the equation entirely, both for human rights law and arguably for American law as well. I mean, they're setting a precedent that's incredibly dangerous. They don't really believe in individual liberty, and they're doing everything they can to stomp it out.
Okay. Michael, you guys are an organization that is on the front lines of this. We are grateful that you are doing it and standing there, and you're willing to take on the case. My wife and I started a charity called Mercury One a few years ago, and we tried to put our money where our mouth is, and Mercury One is going to be making a $50,000 donation to your firm to be able to help you fight it. And also, if it's not posted yet, it will be posted in a few minutes. Mercury1.org, 100% of the proceeds. If you donate to Mercury One, we will have a donate box. You'll be able to donate right directly to HSLDA for this defense, and 100% of the proceeds will go to this defense. And if they have too much money at the end, it will stay with HSLDA to fight and strengthen homeschooling causes and freedom of conscience. I urge you now, if you believe in individual freedom, and if you understand that this administration is not screwing around, and this is the first, I can't even say first, this is one of the many steps that they are taking to take away your right to parent your child and make the decisions of education for your child. This is an extraordinarily important case. And we need to give all of the resources and the tools that we possibly can to the people who are on the front lines. HSLDA.org, or if you want an easier way for you to remember, if you're not at your computer now, go to mercury1.org. They will have a box on the front page. You click on that. If it's for this particular one, if it goes in the general fund, I can't make that promise. But if you go to the box and it says for the homeschooling, 100% of the proceeds will go to HSLDA. Michael, thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. That's an incredible amount of support, and we really deeply appreciate it. We've got a lot of battles like this, and we really appreciate your help.
Michael, if you will keep us informed every step of the way, I want you to. We didn't tell you beforehand before you went on the air, but I wanted to send a very clear message to you and your organization and all those who are fighting with you on this. We are behind you 110%. We're putting our money where our mouth is. And you look to us as an ally, not only financially, but you look to us as an ally in the reporting of this on The Blaze and on our television network and on our radio show and our radio network as well.
Thank you so very much.
You bet.
Really appreciate your partnership.
God bless. Thank you. Mercury1.org.